Hello and welcome to your in-depth weekly horoscope for week commencing the 15th of August. I'm going to give you the key strands to look out for, but please stay with me. I will then dive deep to share with you each of the 12 zodiac signs from Aries through to Pisces in greater detail. Now, this is a week when Mars is very much at the center of the celestial story. And this is because he is going to be moving into a new home on Saturday. But Mars usually takes 45 days or 6 weeks to transit through each zodiac sign. But when it moves into Gemini on Saturday, it's going to be there for 7 months and 6 days. So a really extended period of time. This is because every 2 years Mars goes into a retrograde. Last time it was in the sign it governs of Aries. This time Gemini, very much about how we interact, particularly in terms of our communication, can bring more drama, can also push us to get a bit fitter and more active in the months to come. However, this week does begin with a rather limiting opposition between the Sun and Saturn. Perhaps there's a relationship issue that does need very carefully considering. But Mars is going to be squaring up with the Sun this week and also embracing the quarter moon in Taurus on Friday. And that's saying to us not to be too impulsive when it comes to our romantic situation. Funnily enough, Venus, also in the glamorous Leo, along with the Sun, is forging a beautiful link with Jupiter, the planet of fortune. Now, maybe it is the case that with Jupiter going backwards, we could be feeling a little bit less optimistic, but these two planets are known as the greater and lesser benefics. So the two planets of fortune. So something positive can still come through at the heart of this week. But it is true that Mercury, in its home zone of Virgo, does go into an opposition with Neptune later this week. So if we are planning anything that requires some precision, we really need to concentrate. But if there is something we want to work towards that's much more tangible, the angle between Mars and Pluto before it moves into Gemini is actually very, very good for worldly stuff, as long as we use the passion and power of that combination in the right kind of way. So we're not trying to just get what we need from a situation, but if we work in a productive way and very systematic and step by step, the passion and the willpower of that combination can really bring some results. But later in the week, yes, we have that transition of Mars into Gemini. Now, if you'd like to check out my deep dive video, please see the link beneath this video. But also on Saturday, Mercury enters its shadow period. It won't go into retrograde in the sign of Libra until the 9th of September, but it is going to next week move into the sign of Libra. It's in Virgo at the moment, so just be aware that when it comes to those communications, the need for clarity is vital, but the passion of Mars moving into Gemini will certainly give us all a little bit more capacity to articulate our ideas or ventilate our ideas in a positive way. And please stay with me now for each of your 12 zodiac signs. If you would like to embrace more serious astrology, if you give me 3 pieces of personal birth data of time, date and place of birth, I can give you a roadmap that can guide you for the rest of your life. Also, my special package of 30% off. If you order now, I'll give you your year 2023 personal forecast plus the rest of this year 3. Please see the link beneath this video. And finally, I've raced through the 101,000 subs mark. I'd be so grateful if you've yet to subscribe if you did so now. If you have already, thank you so much for your support. But please click or tap on the bell notification symbol if you've yet to do so. So Cancer, your week commencing the 15th of August forecast really brings into focus one of your great gifts, and that is managing resources shrewdly. And this could be tested a little bit. We're all facing these financial headwinds because the Sun in the second house of everyday money is challenged by Saturn in your sector of longer term finance, or where you share finance or sources of longer term finance for business, for example, or for a property. So there could be something that you do need to be very realistic about at the start of this week. But there's another part of you that wants to be really idealistic. And whilst it's important not to let your pragmatism polarize the things that you really have the highest hopes around, at the same time, keeping one foot on terra firma is going to be really good. But despite this, there is two standout influences that can really help you this week. Venus and Jupiter are in a delightful relationship. Jupiter's, pardon me, in your 10th house, very much about your professional involvements, your worldly connections, and Venus is in Leo in your second house, so that can trigger some kind of serendipity. However, Mars is linked to Pluto, suggests that where you feel you can collaborate with others and there is a high level of trust, something could take a giant step forwards, which is really important to you. But that brings us to the quarter moon on Friday, which is blending with the impatient energies of Mars just before it moves into your 12th house on Saturday. So Mars is linked with the Sun this week, suggests that there could be a friend, maybe an organisation that you've had some kind of investment in, and you can just become more conscious of maybe your values aren't quite as aligned as you hoped. However, once Mars does move into your 12th house, it begins a very long period in one of the most sensitive parts of your zodiac. The 12th house energy can stir up lots of old sediment to do with past resentments or hurts or angers that you may have thought that were completely settled, but could be more active and could come to the surface over this next 7 months and 6 days. However, on the same day, Mercury goes into shadow. This is preparing the way for when it goes into retrograde on the 9th of September. What I would say is Mercury is also in an opposition with Neptune towards the end of this week. So communication, always important all of the time, just requires even more monitoring and precision as this week draws to a close. But I think you could find yourself becoming rather surprisingly much more reflective about past situations, past people, past separations over these coming months. But this essentially is a week which does give you an opportunity to grapple with the financial sectors in your situation. But with Mars in that beautiful link with Pluto, if there is something that you feel very passionately about that's more of a spiritual motivation, you could make a big step forwards on that too.